Do you know this? You're sitting at home frustrated because you have to hand in your homework in 2 days, but you're totally blocked, can't get ahead, and feel like you've completely lost track. If so, watch this video till the end, because I've got 5 tips that you can implement right away. My name's Mark Freund. I'm a creative director in the field of 3D animation and video production, and I've been a lecturer in business and media studies for several years. Maybe you've already started studying or you're in the middle of it, but sometimes you feel like you're not really progressing, you're demotivated and not as productive as you'd like to be. Or perhaps everything is going great for you, but even then, 1 or 2 tips I give you now can be valuable for you and your everyday life. I'm making this video because, in my experience, all those clever tricks and life advice aren't concrete enough. A tip like, don't worry, live, it's pretty cool, sounds great and gives me a warm, cozy feeling, but leaves me a bit puzzled at the end. And how do I do that now? That's why I collected 5 tips for you from various sources, which you can immediately implement it in your everyday life. And that without reading a thick book or attending an expensive seminar. And the best part is, you don't even need a pen and paper, but with a little practice, everything can take place directly in your head. Do you like the tips, or do you think I've missed something? Feel free to write it in the comments later. I'm very curious to hear what you have to say. I would like to emphasize, though, that this whole video is based on my personal experiences and isn't up to scientific standards. Let's go. Tip number 1, the 10-minute rule. If you're having trouble getting started with a task because it seems too big or overwhelming, then start by spending 10 minutes on this task. Sit down, do a little research, write a bit. But if after 10 minutes you realize it's not working at all, you can stop and do something else. But often it happens that you still stick with the task because you have successfully lowered the threshold to get started. So you say, I'm going to sit down for 10 minutes now and do something, or I complete a to-do on my list. And over time, if you repeat this exercise, you'll notice it's getting easier to get started with anything. Tip number 2, your personal Google in your head. Imagine you have a built-in search engine in your head and you can ask it anything. For example, what does a giraffe look like? Then the search engine will go and deliver you lots of pictures of the giraffe in all sorts of positions. Or for example, how do I get from point A to point B? Your head gives you the right directions as long as you know the way. However, many make the mistake and ask their search engines in their head wrong questions. Why am I so bad and will not be able to complete the task ahead of me? Okay, the search engine begins to search and finds the suitable reasons. You're not good enough. You've always been a failure anyway. You've always had bad grades at school too. Well, then I have my answers. I'm so demotivated that I would like to go back to bed immediately. But what if I ask my search engine proper and good questions? For example, why will I do super well on the task ahead of me? The search engine starts searching and then also finds the corresponding reasons for it. You've evolved, you're strong enough now, you can do this, and even last week, what you achieved, you wouldn't have thought that was possible. You see, when you ask the right questions to your search engine, it will provide you with suitable and motivating answers. This might seem a bit like self-deception now, but you'll notice when you repeat the exercise, it would also help you in your everyday life. Tip number 3, always think about the next step. You can take a page out of Climber's books by focusing only on what's immediately in front of you. That is your next step. Imagine you're lying in bed in the morning and you have a full day of many tasks ahead of you and you'd rather not get up at all. Then go about it by just thinking about the next hour and the tasks that are important for it now. What do you have to do now? What do you have to do now? And that's what you focus on. For now, just ignore everything that comes after. This doesn't mean you should forget about the rest of the day, just that you should focus your attention on what's directly in front of you. Of course, you can also apply this technique to a longer task, like a stressful exam phase. Then you just focus on the exam that is right in front of you. You keep the other things in mind, but temporarily ignore them so you can focus on what's important right now. Tip number 4, set smaller goals. Many people make the mistake of setting goals, but these are often too vaguely formulated or too far in the future. Therefore, it is worthwhile to set smaller goals that are quickly and easily achievable. Such a goal could be, for example, to sit down for 10 minutes on an important task today, or if you are writing a bachelor's thesis tomorrow, sit down and write the outline for it. It's important that you can achieve these micro goals quickly and easily. Because once you've reached it, you have a sense of achievement due to the associated dopamine release in the brain. And this sense of achievement motivates you for your future goals. Tip number 5. Since we're talking about goals, set SMART goals. SMART here is an abbreviation and means as much as specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and scheduled. Okay, what does this mean now? Let's start with the first letter. Specific. Is my goal even specific enough, or is it perhaps too vague or overly general? If so, you might want to describe your goal in a bit more detail or write down exactly what you want to achieve. My goal is measurable. This means I can check based on various factors whether I have achieved my goal or not. Are there any criteria for this? Then my goal is achievable. This means whether my goal is realistically achievable in the appropriate time, or if I have set it so high that I may not be able to achieve this goal. Then fourthly, my goal is relevant. That is, does my goal align with higher goals? And does it even benefit me for my further life, whether I achieve this goal or not? And last but not least, I have scheduled. So your goal needs a fixed time-framed framework. When do you want to have achieved this goal? For example, I could now take the goal I want to lose weight. This is a good, great and meaningful goal, but does not meet any of the criteria I just mentioned. So how could I do it better? So I apply my SMART criteria to my goal and try to formulate the goal based on them. A good example would be, instead of saying I want to lose weight, to say I want to reduce my weight by 10 kilograms within a year. For this, I will change my diet and go running twice a week. I check my progress weekly. I want to achieve the goal because I want to lower my blood pressure and live healthier permanently. Also, this could be a goal that meets these SMART criteria. These were my 5 mind tricks for you. I hope that there was something for you that you can implement immediately and that helps you in your everyday life. If you liked the video and you want to see more such videos in the future, then leave me a comment or subscribe to my channel. I would be very pleased about that. Then I wish you a lot of fun with mind hacking. See you soon. Bye.